Good afternoon, dear guests. My name is Sanjal Jakupovic, and I'm today host of two conferences here at the Pan-European University Apeiron. One of the conferences is the 5th International Scientific Conference on Economic Development and Standard of Living, EDASOL 2015. And the second is first conference, business conference on logistics, Days of Logistics, Banja Luka 2015. Today we have two guests from different conferences. One comes from Austria, from Ministry of Finance of Austria, and his name is Wolfgang Berger. Professor Berger comes from Ministry of Finance from Wien, and he do also teaching in several universities in Austria, and to Pan-European University Apeiron for several years. And Tina Pandža comes from firma TimCom from Germany. And I want to share the opportunity to introduce my guests. First Tina as lady, then Wolfgang. Please introduce yourself and your company.
Okay, sure. I'm Tina Pandža. I am a country manager for the Southeast European markets for our company. TimCom is an IT service provider for the logistics and transport industries, whether it's haulers or freight forwarders or even shippers, manufacturers. Any type of company that is in the logistics supply chain can benefit from our products.
Thank you. And you, Mr. Berger?
Sandal, thank you first for the invitation.
Thank you.
First, I want to introduce myself. I'm working for 15 years in the framework of the European legislation regarding taxation and especially VAT. And the last 10 years, I was supporting developing countries for improvement of their taxation systems.
Okay, and now I started to ask my guests. First, I'm asking Mr. Berger, what is your opinion about the official position of Bosnia and Herzegovina regarding the accession to the European Union, regarding the rates of VAT or customs relation or different rates? What is your opinion?
Okay, first, the question about rates. I must tell you that the alignment, the European Union does not have a position for that, because it's up to the states to fix their rates. This is not in the process of alignment. Yeah? That means it's up to, for instance, Bosnia and Herzegovina, that they say, okay, we want different rates, we want to have one VAT rates. Nevertheless, I can only tell you, this is my personal view, that we had the experience in Austria that lowering of rates did not influence the prices at all. And I can only tell you that there are also studies existing from the European Union that the influence to the prices, it's nearly going to zero. And the second question was about the process of accession. I can only tell you from my view, because I worked with the Indirect Taxation Authority, this is not so much published in the public, that we had very good process. It's a long-term view over certain years. I worked already 29 years in the tax administration, and I also started at the point, and we had a development for many years, and to come up to the stage will also need certain years. You must give the administration time to change. You cannot do it from one year to the other, but I must say that they are in a good way, and I think they will make it in the near future to come to the standard from the European Union.
You had worked in several countries, many countries, like as Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now you are in Georgia.
Yes, Georgia, yeah.
Can you tell us about the opinion of VAT system in Georgia, and what is to compare? What is
actually, I think the situation is nearly from the VAT system itself from the VAT legislation is nearly the same. They have a different approach just from the administration. They changed completely now the system of administration. It's also a little bit a risk if you change completely. And I see that now also that they have new people there. They don't have experience. Here you have very experienced people, which is easier to work. So everything has its advantages or disadvantages.
Okay, thank you. And for Miss Tina, how come that your firm cooperate with our university? How comes to the idea to link the IT sector or sector of private sector business with the university, with the academician, with the academics?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Our company realized a few years ago that a lot of educational institutions just seem to have a problem with offering enough practical knowledge to the students, and on the other hand, the companies in the economy, they miss exactly that when students finish their school, that they don't have enough practical experience, that it's way too much theory, and especially in the transport and logistics sectors, in the part that we do, we offer, among others, the Europe's leading freight exchange, so the platform where shippers and companies that have trucks meet their needs. We have up to almost 500,000 offers a day on our platforms, and we realized that it would be very helpful and practical for students to know these kind of platforms when they enter, especially the logistics and the transport businesses. And so we started cooperating with universities across from Europe, and I have to also add that our German company TimCom has a very, very strong and high number of customers in Bosnia and Herzegovina and also the other ex-Yugoslavian countries.
How many?
Approximately. Out of the 35,000 clients that we have in Europe, we have in the countries of former Yugoslavia about 4,000 or 5,000. It's maybe our third biggest market altogether. And we realized that most, like I said, transport companies, freight forwarders, just anyone that has trucks, they use our products, especially here in this region. And so we thought, why not offer schools and universities anything, and we decided to offer them workshops. We offer them brochures, educational brochures, where they can learn about these kind of platforms. We also come to universities and present to them our freight exchange. They have a closed group of users where just they can act as if they're working with this exchange. So a student can put in a truck, another student can put in his freight. So it's like a demo version. And so, that we've been doing this for many years now with other universities as well, and we're happy that we're doing it with your university also.
Thank you. Thank you for your hosting and for your participation, and we hope that we continue and strongly participate in your activities and with the education workshops and others you mentioned in your speech. And for Mr. Berger, last question, but not least, how do you think, what is important for the academy, for the universities to give much more influence into the socio-economic development and to the public administration, to the decision makers in the country?
Yes, I think I can only give you the example from Austria, where I come from, that the academics are writing more books, commentaries, and with scientific influence, and this also influences then the courts. And so we have much more literature in Austria than you have it in your country. But I must tell you, this is Austria. I think Austria and Germany are the countries which have the most literature in the European Union at all, because we have tradition for 100 years in commentaries, and so it developed, and it must develop from the beginning. But I think if you do that, then you will also have influence to legislation, to all these things. They must just take more responsibility for that, not only to teach, but also to improve the interpretation and all these things. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your coming. Thank you for participation on the interview, and we see next year.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.